What's going on, guys? Victor here. Right behind Bricky and I is our brand new 2850 Bluwater. Now, a lot went into making this boat, and I wanted to show you guys the behind the scenes of what actually took place. So everything from the pure fiberglass work to the painting to the hardware, I want to show you guys exactly how a boat is made. So Dennis and I, for the past 3 months, have been headed up to Fort Pierce, getting a behind the scenes look. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Now let's replay about 3 months ago. All right, guys, check it out. We are inside our 2850 Bluwater. This is the hull. Today is the day the hull comes out of the mold. Super stoked. This thing is gonna be a beast. As you guys see, there's a bunch of different compartments like this right here. These are gonna be our back fish boxes. I'm pretty sure this is the main fuel tank, console right there, giant forward fish boxes. It's much bigger than I was expecting. Like, I knew we were getting a big boat, but like actually being inside, this is just the hull. You still have the deck, you have the hardtop and everything else that goes in it, but this is the foundation of your boat right here.
So we're basically gonna pull this out of the mold. We finished the hull, I think 2 weeks ago about, so it's been in the mold for a while, curing. I'm gonna put your boat at like 4 to 6 weeks away from being finished, but you do have a lot of stuff on it. A lot of electronics, so definitely gonna be a big job, but we're excited to work on it. All right, so Brandon, go ahead.
Start that.
One arm, nice job.
Strong guy right there, huh?
I'm clear on this side, is that good or no?
Dude, the feeling of new gel coat and paint and fiberglass, so silky smooth. The color came out great. We wanted to do a whisper gray. We didn't want to go too dark, and this is the perfect color. I love it. This is the first time we've actually seen it in person. What do you think?
Beautiful.
Yeah, so most parts when they come out of the mold, they're not perfect. This one actually came out really good. Probably a couple days worth of sanding, buffing, and getting it looking perfect. But coming out of the mold, this one came out really good.
You guys notice it's actually two-tone. So the hull side is whisper gray, and the bottom of the hull is white, which I really love. I think you get a nice contrast. It really makes this boat look good. What do you think of your new filming machine? What's good so far? It's got a nice, nice ring to it. Huh? New filming machine? Kelly said it best. It's like an unfinished cake. The potential's there. There's a few spots they got to polish out because it was curing in the mold, but it came out amazing.
So that has been the one question that I've been wondering this whole time, because I'll be honest, I've never built a boat before, and I've never really looked into how they're built before. And my question was, how do we get that beautiful gray color on there already popping straight out of the mold?
The first step obviously is getting the mold clean. So the mold gets clean, and then we wipe a release agent onto it, and that makes the gel coat not stick to it. It makes it pop off easy. So for the gel coat on this, the first thing we did was we put a tape line. Then we spray one color, pull the tape line, go back and spray the other color. After we have the gel coat on, we do a skin coat. That's with matte, and the real purpose of that skin coat is to protect the gel coat, because when you're putting on the fiberglass, it's hot, and that heat can show up in the gel coat if you don't do it correctly. And then 6 layers of fiberglass on each side, and then that gives you a 12-layer overlap on the bottom. It's a really robust lamination schedule. Most boats aren't doing that. So basically, after all the lamination is done, that's when we install the stringers. We use Coosa for our stringers. A lot of production boats right now are just using styrofoam, and they're just glassing over it. So the only structure they're getting is from that thin layer of fiberglass that they're laying over. It's almost like a mold that stays in the boat. We use Coosa. It's a little more expensive, but it makes the boat a lot more structurally sound. So we do 4 layers of glass overlapping each stringer, and then you can see on the sides of the boat, we tab it into the sides. So it basically makes the boat one solid piece. This hull will never flex, and that's really why our boats ride so good and are so tough, and people have them 20, 30 years and they're still riding good.
So this is the hull. Every boat is built a little differently. The way Bluwater does it is they have 2 pieces. So they're actually gonna put the deck and the hull together. which we are gonna go take a look at the deck right now. I don't know if you guys are like weird like me. You know how some people love the smell of gasoline? I like the smell. Is it fiberglass or epoxy?
Fiberglass, resin, yeah.
Fiberglass smells good. It smells clean. It smells like a nice new boat.
This is your liner for your boat. It's just about done. We actually were grinding on it this morning. All the layers are in, so all we really have left to do is we brush gel the bottom. Anything that, if you stick your head in a box, you may actually see. So we'll probably pull this sometime before the end of the week, and then we'll bring this over to the shop and get started on it.
I've never seen this done. So what those guys are doing over there, are these just like sheets of fiberglass that are just layered on top of each other?
Let's take a look, yeah.
This is all very new to me, so I'm just interested to learn for myself. So for a noob like me who's never known about this process, what exactly are these guys doing right now?
Perfect. So they're rolling out the fiberglass. So the gel coat's already been sprayed. After that, we put a layer of matte down. The fiberglass material, this is fiberglass matte. This is what it looks like. Obviously by itself, it doesn't have much strength. It's just fabric.
It's crazy to think that that right there, that sheet, that is a boat. At the end of the day, this with a bunch of resin turns into a boat.
It comes into the shop, fiberglass on a roll, and barrels of resin, and it leaves a boat. It's pretty insane.
It's crazy.
It's all made by hand. It is itchy, yeah. But yeah, so what they're doing now is they're rolling it out. So we have our resin gun there. The red in the resin is catalyst, and that's what allows the resin to harden, kind of sets it off. So you have to get the mixture of that right. Temperature is really important, so depending on how hot it is in here, how much catalyst will add to the resin. And what you see the guys doing now is they're rolling it out. One of the biggest problems with fiberglass is having air in it. So that's what they're doing and making sure there's the tiniest little air bubble and everything's rolled out perfectly. But basically this is Coosa board. It's a fiberglass board, composite, and it's, I want to say plywood-like, but it's obviously waterproof. So before Coosa existed, stringers were made out of plywood, which wood gets wet. That's not a good thing on a boat. So this was the way we've been doing it since 1997, when we were one of the first to start using Coosa. We get this as a kit. It's CNC cut, so it fits the hull perfectly, and then we basically build the stringer grid on the floor and drop it into the hull, and it's a perfect fit.
You know, going into this, I knew there was a lot of moving parts into building a boat, but just for example, they have 2 different warehouses right here. And there are so many different things that go into the boat. The fiberglass, the resin, hatches, latches, compartments, gas tanks, a lot of different vendors. And to put it all together is just insane. How it all, at the end of the day, just comes out of this beautiful boat. But these guys got it dialed down. So Ken actually took over Bluwater couple years ago.
2.5 years ago now.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Legendary boat builder by the name of Paul was actually the founder of Bluwater. It was his company, and unfortunately he passed away. But the torch has been handed off to Ken and Kelly, and they're still carrying on his good work. Shop foreman, is that like shop?
Everything.
I call him the founder.
Founder,
so
general manager,
this is,
knucklehead, and all the things.
Pete Rudel. He's one of the founders. He was Paul's partner to start Bluwater 27 years ago on the West Coast, and moved the company here, built the shop.
Started with the 25, went into the 23, 50, built the 21, moved here in 99, and then came out with the 28. It's been a journey. Beautiful boat, proud of them. Our owner's happy with them, so.
We built every single one pretty
I
much.
can basically say I have touched every boat that went through this.
That's insane.
Since 97, and we moved here in 99.
What's your favorite boat to build? Which
What's
model?
the favorite? I like the 25 was good. The new 25 is awesome, you know.
So Brooke was asking where the molds come from, and we're one of the last well-known builders that still does almost all of our tooling in-house. What we're looking at here is our 25T plug. So a plug is what you make a mold from. The plug is an exact duplicate of what the part's gonna look like when it's done. So the amount of work that went into this is insane. What we did is we took a hull that we were gonna use, and this is just plywood, and this was all hand sanded, hand faired, hand cut, and then we gel coated over it. And then this is how we get the non-skid on the boat. This has obviously been sitting here in storage for a while, but this has to be laid down perfectly smooth. And after this is done, this is what the part's gonna look like once you take it off the mold. And then we make a mold off this. We use a special gel coat called tooling gel, and it's orange, and it's extra smooth, and it makes the extra fine to allow the part to release off it. You mentioned Paul before, Paul Skilowitz, the founder. He spent 2 years building this plug to get it ready for the 25T, and it was all done by hand. Like the amount of engineering and talent that takes, there's really not a lot of boat builders out there who have that ability. And it really makes that 25T and all of our boats so special, knowing that a lot of this work was done by hand and all the love and care that went into it.
Hi, my name's Karen Skilowitz. My husband Paul and I started Bluwater back in 1997. He originally started when we were sailing around the world, drawing a sailboat, 60-foot sailboat, and when we came back to the States, we tried to find somebody to build it. Found somebody to build it. From there, we started with the power boats because we needed some money to keep the factory going. So we found these molds, and they happened to be the exact molds that he was looking for. And we started with a 25 and a 21, I believe. And they were built over on the west coast of Florida in Clearwater, and then we lived here, so we brought our factory here, found this piece of property, built this up, been going ever since. We turned the 25 into we made a 2350 out of it, and then we made the 28, then came along the 35. But this was all his. When we were sailing, he had nothing to do, so he made one of the staterooms into a drafting room. We took all his knowledge and brought it to the sport fishing boats, and everything we did, he drew by hand, and the help of a naval architect to get it just where it needed to be.
A harness is really important. Most boat problems you're going to have in the future are going to be probably electrical. So we want to have complete control of the quality of the harnesses. There's a handful of vendors who do make harnesses, and we had used them in the past, but we switched over to making them for every single boat by hand, just so that we know exactly what we're going to get and be able to ensure the quality of these. Everything's laid out, everything has Deutsch connectors, a color code on everything going back to the console, so you can easily trace wires. They're all custom, but in a way they're all the same as well, so if you choose not to get a deep drop outlet, we're still going to leave a wire for that in the back of the boat, so if someone wants to add it later, they'll know exactly where that plug is going to be to add that to the boat later. So it's just another thing that we do to take the extra step to make sure the boat comes out perfect.
All right, guys, it's been about 3 weeks, and there are some huge updates to the boat. So we are standing in the hull right now, and it looks very different than the first time you guys saw it. So we're going to give you the entire tour, and I am beyond stoked to see this all coming together. We're going to go through the deck after this, but if Dennis steps inside, let's go from the front of the boat and work towards the back. So this is one of the biggest selling points of this boat and why we went with it. You have this massive, massive forward fish box and also locker for storage. So we want to make a lot of Bahamas trips on this boat, and with the Bahamas trips, you want as much storage as possible. I can already picture the yellowfin tuna lined up in here, big queen snapper, snowy grouper, all the other species. And then a cool thing about this, you guys can't see it right now, but you can actually lock your rods inside. So there's going to be a hatch on top of here with a lock, so we could lock the rods in if we want. We got 2 other really big fish boxes and or storage if you want. These are going to be our batteries, and Ken's going to be putting in like a, what is it, starboard?
False floor, yeah.
So there's going to be a false floor right there, so we're going to get a little bit more storage right on top right there. And as you guys see, all this yellow stuff right here, foam. It's going to add integrity to the boat as well as make it a lot more, I guess, floaty, right?
But this foam, it adds flotation, it insulates everything, and it really locks the boat in and makes it one solid piece. So stomp on that, feel how hard that is.
On this?
As hard as you can, yeah. Like it's a solid boat. So that foam is really strong. We have to pour it in really slowly because it expands, and if we don't take our time with it, it'll basically bust through these boxes.
Yeah.
So it's a high density 2-part foam that we hand pour into every boat. We've got an anchor locker here. We finish our anchor lockers. A lot of people just have the hull and have your anchors bang along on the hull. This is a little bit of a nicer look, but it's also going to protect the hull from getting beat up by the anchor when it moves around.
And then that's the D-ring right there?
Yeah, so that's your bow eye if you're tying the boat up.
Okay.
You got an anchor keeper, and that's got a drain also. So everything on the boat right now is wired. We were going to deck the boat today, which is when we bring the cap and put it down. But just with the heat, we wanted to wait till first thing in the morning and give ourselves a little bit more working time with the bonding putty. But everything here is wired. So you can see running along the sides, we're pre-wired for all your speakers. You've got your trolling motor wire coming right up here.
You could see why boats are so expensive. A lot of time, money, and labor goes into these things. And if we keep walking back, I mean, you see it's just like a city of wires and pumps and hoses. So what's gonna...
So this is where your console is gonna go.
Okay.
So you'll step down into your console. All the plumbing is here, so you have your deck drain, so everything on the deck is gonna drain fully overboard. You can see this is all the rigging coming from the back of the boat. So we've got a rig tube that comes along the starboard side. That's this green PVC pipe, and that's gonna come up into the console. So that's where we're gonna connect everything. We got your console mostly wired. So really our goal is to have the console finished before we deck the boat, and that way all we have left to do is basically connect the wires in the console.
So now what I'm standing on, another big selling point of this boat was if you look up any 30-foot boat or under, you are not going to find a boat with more fuel capacity. So right here is the main fuel tank, which is 250 gallons. And then we got two 45-gallon wing tanks, which brings you up to a total of 340 gallons of fuel capacity. So you could really send it. Pulley Ridge trips, Bahamas trips, you could probably run over there, come back without even having to refuel.
Yeah, so all these tanks are epoxy coated, so they're going to last a long time. We glass them in around the sides. You can see that just to prevent if any water does happen to get into the deck, it's going to stay out of the tanks.
Yeah. There is a transom mounted live well, but then we also have this giant 60-gallon in-deck well, which is going to come in really handy once again when you're doing a lot of live baiting or Bahamas trips, or you just need to go bait fishing and then bring them home. If we want to run to Miami or something, we'll be able to black this well out with pilchards or gogs or whatever we want. And then we got the two back fish boxes as well. So if you're just going out for the day and you're not planning on keeping a lot of fish, you know, you can have these two back fish boxes. Lots of pumps. This whole network right here. So we got our saltwater wash down. We got our freshwater wash down. Right over there, you got your two live well pumps. And then this funky looking thing right there, that's we went with a two-channel frequency transducer. So we got a high chirp and a low chirp, so that way when you're really deep, you want to be able to mark those bottom fish in 1,000+ feet of water, which is going to come in really handy. It's an Airmar B275 low, high, wide, which is going to integrate with the Garmin. We got our two bilge pumps, because you can never be too careful. If one goes bad, you got your secondary one, just in case. Another pump, you said, right?
That's the macerator to drain the fish boxes.
And then this is another neat thing. Fish boxes, no matter how well they're plumbed, you can always get fish guts or something that kind of gets stuck in your tubes, but this right here, we got a macerator, so it'll flush all the guts and blood out of your fish boxes, which is nice.
So you got that's your Seakeeper. There's two computers for the Seakeeper ride system. That's one of them. Another one's gonna be mounted in your console. For your transducer, we actually have an insert in the hull that we use, so we don't just cut that out. We have a perfectly shaped, basically a mold that we put in the mold, so it slides right up, and the only hole we have to cut in the boat is for that stem. There's a little extra step to make it, that's why it looks so clean. Your deck and scuppers are gonna drain out this big plumbing fixture right here. That's gonna drain out the hull, keep it a full self-bailing hull. And then all of these wires run all the way up to the boat. We have a rig tube running all the way along the starboard side, and that's what gets all of the rigging to the console. This is your Dometic Optimus hub, and that's where the steering comes into the boat. Right here, these are your rig tubes. So we've got fuel. Those are going to connect to the fuel tank, and then the motor rigging, the motor power and ground coming out of there, and then some of the NEMA networks. They're going to have 3 or 4 separate NEMA networks on your boat for the Seakeeper, the steering, Suzuki, and then all your other motor systems.
We had Danny from Wallabies Fabrications come by the shop, and this is just us discussing how tall we wanted the T-top to be, how many rod holders we wanted. Brooke's dad and brother are very tall, so we wanted to make sure they had enough clearance to not hit their heads. He's also the one who made the transom mounted rod racks as well as the gas tank. So now we're looking at the hardtop. So this is going to mount kind of like right where the console is. I love me a nice hardtop because it provides a lot of shade. And it's nice to not have canvas involved because canvas goes bad. Hardtop, you get a lot more shelf life out of. We got the 4-foot open array, you already know. That's gonna be the tuna finding machine in the Bahamas. Look for frigate birds, dolphin, and Ken is going to explain that because I don't know.
Yeah, so that's the antenna for the Dometic Optima system. So that's going to give your electric, when you're saying going sideways, it's going to have spot lock and be able to run in certain patterns once you get it going. So that's just a better, the more powerful GPS antenna than what comes with just the MFDs. Then you've got your Garmin Sirius GXM54, I think, radar antenna.
Anchor light.
Yep, anchor light.
Nice big antenna.
And then what's really nice about our tops is we have this surfboard finish. It's a little dusty in here, but a lot of hard tops are just kind of sandwiched together and they just cut them and do like a gel coat paint. This is a fully finished surfboard edge. It takes like 2 or 3 days just to get that, and not everyone's putting the time in to do that.
Is the razor bar that light in the front?
Yes, the razor is going to go in front of that. We install that after this is on the deck.
Okay.
So that way we can position it so it doesn't reflect off the bow and blind you. So we'll basically pull it backwards so the top is blocking it until the light shines over the deck.
And then this right here, you guys know our family does a lot of shrimping. So we got the side kind of little spreader lights, so that way we could just point this right off of the side of the boat and into the water and look for shrimp.
So we have a custom rod holder coming for you that you and Danny at Wallabies designed together. So that's going to be cool. It's going to come off the top and the bottom. What was it, 12 or
9, I think.
9 rods on it? Yeah.
A double decker of rod
So
holders.
even more rod storage, and then you got a ton of Lumatech lighting. Our new leaning post design, so you're gonna, I think, be the second boat that has it, but it's a full fiberglass leaning post. It's a part we tooled here ourselves a few months ago. So it's got a toe kick all the way around the bottom, just to give you a little more walk around room. You're gonna have a massive tackle center here with plano box storage and storage for all your leads and pull-out cooler here. I think we're still figuring out what we're gonna put here because we've got about 4 or 5 inches of space to work with. So we'll be able to put a couple more plano boxes on the side, and you'll have rod holders and cup holders on the top. And then around the front here, you'll have your nice captain's chairs and flip-up bolsters. So that should be here in the next few days or week or so, and you'll have a really nice, comfortable place for those long runs.
Now, we are on the deck. So starting with this big rig right here, Garmin 90-inch trolling motor, the Kraken. Super excited for this. We got a C-swivel as well, so that way you can swivel the trolling motor out. The big anchor locker. You're just gonna see the floor, but it'll connect to the deck. The hatch for that giant fish box you guys saw, and then, I don't know about you, but as a fisherman, seeing all these rod holders lights me up. There's nothing better looking when you're riding out of the inlet and you see all those rod holders on a boat and you know that that boat means business. We got the 30-degree right there for your trolling, planers, whatever it be. Gemlux cup holder. We got a 15-degree for your live baiting drifting. Another 30-degree for when you're trolling. More 15 degrees, 15. We got a 15-degree swivel rod holder. So if you want to do some deep dropping, sword fishing, whatever it may be, or you're fighting tunas in a bent butt, it's nice to be able to swivel that rod around. More cup holders, and a lot more rod holders over here. Normally what we've been doing on our boat is I usually bring a battery on, but it's gonna be nice to have, we got these Hubbles. The deep drop plugs, we got 4 total. We got 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So sword fishing, deep dropping, any type of electric reel, or even your electric jigging reel you could. And this boat, we wanted to go boom, boom. We got 8 7.7 JL speakers. They're already mounted. And then we got the 2 10-inch subwoofers right here, kind of on the side of the console right there. This is going to be a cooler seat. Can I open it, Jim? So, nice hydraulic hinge. Put all your drinks and stuff in there. Don't have to bring cooler on the boat anymore, which is gonna be nice. We got the console. The hardtop, which you guys saw in the last video, is gonna be mounted kind of like right here. It's gonna have the rods and everything on it. And then if you slide over here, they have most of the console done, but we're just waiting on the panel. So for all your switches, all your electronic switches, 4 cup holders. I always know on our boat right now, we're always fighting over cup holder space. Going from 2 to 4 is gonna be really nice. Suzuki throttle, the Suzuki gauges. This is gonna be a game changer. Really excited to show you guys this in action. It's joystick, so The motors will actually work independently, and you're going to be able to dock sideways, which is really nice. We got the Seakeeper ride, Optimus gauge right there, and your Suzuki trim. Steering wheel's not in, but it's going to go in. And then we're going to have two 16-inch Garmin screens right there, top of the console. And then let me show you guys inside. You can always appreciate when a boat is wired right, and if you look at how nice and organized and clean that is. If you ever need to work on the boat, having nice clean wires makes it so much easier to know where everything is and to be able to work on it.
Yeah, you asked about the what's the blue stuff. It's a protected, it's called anvil strip coating. We put it on right after the boat comes out of the mold, so while we're working on the boat, it protects it, and then it will peel right up, and it'll look fresh out of the mold when we're done working on your boat.
They got the live wells testing back here. They're full of water. Make sure that there's no holes or any leaks or anything anywhere. There's a little sink back here, so if you're, want to thaw out your bait or just wash your hands, there's that sink, and then this massive back transom well. Or you guys saw the hull. Now this is the deck. So Ken was originally, they were going to glue it together and we were going to film it, but he's going to film it on his own tomorrow morning because of temperature. He says that they like to do it when it's cooler out, right?
Yeah, the bonding putty, we get a much shorter working time when it's really hot, so it just gives us a little more leeway to make sure we get it done right when it's cooler out. All right, so we're on Victor and Brooks 2850 right now. We're doing our first sea trial. We usually sea trial every single boat, sometimes more than once. This boat's got a lot of different systems on it. So this is our first sea trial. What we're doing right now is actually Dometic is here with us, Hector from Dometic, and we're programming the joystick. This boat's got an Optimus 360 joystick system on it. So we're basically getting the joystick programmed exactly for this boat. So it takes into account the weight of the boat, the motors, how they're positioned on the boat. So what we're doing right now is actually we're testing out the full 360 capabilities. We're also gonna check all the Garmins, run the boat, get it up to full speed, check the Seakeeper ride, and just for initial sea trial. Then we're gonna take it back to the shop, get the boat completely finished, washed and detailed, and sea trial it again.
It is delivery day. We're here with the owners of Bluwater. We got Ken and Kelly and my lovely wife. And right behind those doors is the brand new 2850 Bluwater.
Feels like just yesterday we were here designing it, and now we're here picking it up, so can't wait.
Yeah,
Big moment.
It's been really fun working with you guys, and the boat turned out better than we could have hoped. It's got pretty much everything you could put on a 2850, so it's probably the nicest one we built, and I'm excited for you guys to see it for the first time, and even more excited for you guys to run it.
All right, let's check it out.
All right.
Here she is. Check it out. It was raining earlier. We're gonna do a sea trial. We're waiting for the rain to stop, but we're gonna go on the boat, check some things out, take it to the boat ramp. Ken's gonna show us all the bells and whistles, because this is a lot more boat than we're used to. A lot more electronics, the Seakeeper ride, the trolling motor radar. He's gonna give us a walkthrough. The electronics is just so much that we're not used to, but I'm excited. And we went with an Ameritrail trailer. Highly recommended in the industry. Got a toolbox on here. She's looking good. Okay, so when you buy a boat, it's not just a boat. There's currently a shed at our house, a new gravel driveway for the trailer. First time, my truck's gonna be pulling something big. Got a brand new truck for this boat. I cannot thank the boys at Bluwater and Kelly enough for this amazing boat. It's pretty incredible. It's not something you get to experience often. It's the first boat that I've ever owned personally. It's the first boat that Brooke and I built together, and it is a dream come true. The entire process was smooth sailing. Ken and I have definitely talked to each other more than we've talked to our wives in the last 3 months. It was a bromance for sure.
No, it's been really great. I'm very happy for you guys, and you kind of represent what a lot of our customers represent. You work really hard your whole life. How long have you been making videos for?
10 years.
And you know, everyone thinks that it's easy to make videos and to make it a career, but you guys worked so hard and became so successful that you got to the point in your life where you can get yourself a new boat. And I'm really happy for you guys. And I see a lot of you and Brooke and a lot of our customers, they work hard and they get a boat and they want it to be perfect just how they want it. And it makes me really happy to get to do that for you and for all the Bluwater owners.
Thank you.
Brings a tear to my eyes. So now we're gonna head over to the boat ramp, get some gas, and the most important thing, Ken's gonna kind of show us around. It's kind of raining, but we're gonna make the most of it. But he's gonna show us all the different battery switches, fuses, electronics. There's so much that goes into this boat, so we'll see you guys there. We've never had electronic steering this is smooth. It's like butter. It's very overwhelming. There's just a lot of emotions going on right now.
When we were first pulling in, it was really funny because Victor was like so excited. And he was like, wouldn't it be really funny if I cried? And I go, if you cried, I would actually be quite upset considering the fact that we just got married and Victor didn't cry and I thought he was going to. And I was like, if you cry over the boat, I'm going to be sad.
Smiles per gallon, Dennis, smiles per gallon. Feels very powerful. Going from a single engine boat to a two engine boat is a big difference. Are they down now?
Yeah, you're all the way down. There you go.
All right, guys, so the whole purpose of this afternoon was to get the boat dialed in. This is way more boat than we're used to, so Ken just showed us the ropes, showed us how to use the trolling motor, radar, the screens, how to get the different zones of the JLs and everything going on, and everything is working perfectly. Boat runs great, rides out. I'm so excited to fish this thing, dive this thing. I know Brookie's excited, and her family's gonna be excited, and I just wanna give a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart to all the good folks at Bluwater, but especially Ken and Kelly. Because when I say that I was on the phone with Ken every single day, I mean every single day. And that is what you get with a custom built boat like this. Everything on this boat was thought out and planned and rearranged the way we wanted it to fit our lifestyle and the things we want to do to film videos for you guys. And that's what you get with a custom boat builder like Bluwater. So I hope you guys enjoyed the process. You guys saw this boat from basically a bare bones hull, just a piece of fiberglass, to this beautiful machine that it is. And yeah, you want to add anything, Brookie?
I was just going to say we worked with a lot of amazing companies on this boat, and there are a lot of things that are going to be really exciting to learn to use and to show you guys, and just all the videos that are going to come with being on this boat. There are just so many new opportunities, so I'm just super excited for all that.
Yeah, and there will be a separate video. So this was just to show you guys how the boat was being built, but we're going to do a whole dream boat build video where we go over every single aspect of the boat, the storage, the fish boxes, all the electronics, and to show you how we use it and why we chose it, so that way we can film videos for you guys and put fish in this boat. And I cannot wait to get this thing bloody.
So I just want to say you guys have been really great to work with, and this was a really fun project. Every single thing on this boat you guys picked out and got it exactly how you wanted it. So I really hope this meets your needs. The team at Bluwater like killed themselves working on this boat, worked really hard. It's not an easy job. You know, it's hot, it's sweaty, it's dusty, and it's a lot of work to get a handmade boat perfect. And we're really happy with how this came out, and I hope you guys catch a lot of fish and really enjoy the boat.
Yeah,
Thank you.
This is the best day of our whole jobs, is when we get to see you guys receive like your dream boat. This is what makes it all so special. So Thank you for giving us this opportunity. We're super pumped and can't wait to see what you guys catch. Maybe you'll take us out again.
Oh,
I don't know.
of course.
We seemed to be a good luck charm last time.
There will be lots of trips with you too. I gotta add one thing. If you guys take a look, I asked Ken and Kelly, there is how many, 50 or 60 rod holders?
I lost count, but I think it was about 61 or 62.
We have the record for the most rod holders on a 28 Bluwater out there, so try to beat that one. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're interested in building a boat like this, I'm going to have all of Bluwater's information linked below, and seriously consider it because it is an amazing boat, an amazing company run by incredible people. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.